Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the OTT.X Webinar series, where it is our continued privilege to share with you the experience, insights, and wisdom from the people that are shaping the OTT and CTV industry. Our presentation today is from Castify.ai CTO Shilo Asi. Shilo will be discussing monetization strategies, audience segmentation, and performance marketing to lift performance and engagement of OTT channels and content. We'll hear about ways to boost campaign effectiveness and target core audiences with cutting-edge OTT performance marketing tactics that will give you an advantage over the competition. Welcome, Shilo.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Eric.
So I understand you're in Israel. Fantastic. How are things out in your neck of the woods?
We're doing okay. Yeah. So today, as you mentioned, we will speak about how to monetize better our OTT platform. We created a few slides explaining about OTT monetization, some basics about programmatic advertising. We know from our work with content owners that most of the content owners are used to work on the content side of the business, and the ad tech is pretty new to them when they shifted from subscription-based to ad-based, or they're looking to move to ad-based, and all this new practice is a bit new to them. So today I will try to give you some basics knowledge, basic practices, how to get into the OTT ad-based space and how to do it better. Our agenda for today, I will try to give you a better understanding of how OTT advertising works, how you can maximize your revenue while maintaining your viewer experience. We'll cover OTT apps and fast channels monetization technique. We'll speak about audiences and how it's relevant for programmatic advertising. And we'll speak a bit about performance TV and how it can help you to enhance your monetization. A bit about Castify and what we are doing. So Castify is a technology company. In our core technology, we are helping content owners to build and onboard their content across OTT as an app or a fast channel. We built an OTT application builder, which produced applications to all platforms, all environments. When we are saying OTT, we are talking about all environments, web, mobile, and CTV. I know that it's common to mix OTT with CTV, but OTT is about all platforms. So we are working across all platforms, and all of our applications are ad-based. So a bit about the programmatic advertising and how it works. So we can see here a quick diagram. In the reality, there are a lot more levels here, but just to make it simple, we have our CTV application, for example. Our users started to see a video, and then we are going for a pre-roll ad break. The pre-roll ad break initiates a real-time auctioning on our ad server. On our ad server, we have a few types of buyers, of advertisers. So we have, first of all, our direct buyers, which have more priority. And then we have some other types of advertisers like SSPs or PMP deals that we are running on our platform. The auctioning basically prioritize the auctioning by floor price, by the quick of response from our advertisers, by maximizing the potential of our ad break, and we will speak about it in a minute. And then return a full ad break or full ad to the application. It can be on directly to the client side or on the server side. We will also speak about it. Once our viewer is watching the ad, there is an ad impression, and then it counted on the ad server and also on the advertiser's side. A bit about a few definitions, basic knowledge in our programmatic space. So we have a few, I can say, communication protocol that we can use. The most common for us as an OTT publisher is Vastag for video ads. It looks like something like this. So we have a URL that we are getting from our ad server. On this URL, we are chaining a lot of parameters like our app bundle, app name, content title, and we'll speak about the importance of adding as much as information as we can. That's the way we can integrate our client side or the server side ad insertion with our ad server and initiate an auction. In addition, we have what is called OpenRTB protocol. It's another communication protocol. It's more common on the ad server side. Us as a publisher, we are less, it's transparent for us, but it's good to know that there is a protocol called OpenRTB, which is very common and used to communicate between your ad servers and the different advertisers that you are going to work with. The latest protocol is OpenRTB 2.6, and it gives some significant improvement to the OTT ecosystem. So it's very important to make sure that your ad server and the advertisers that you are working with are working with the latest OpenRTB protocol. In addition to the Vastag and the OpenRTB communication protocols, we have also Privit, which is very common, mainly on the ad server side. It's a way of integration between buyers, advertisers, and publishers. Again, for us as a publishers, it's pretty much transparent, but it's good to know that we are our ad server is capable to work on the latest Privit protocol. Privit also have significant capabilities for publishers, for web publishers and mobile publishers. We will speak about it in the next slides. DSP. So DSP is a demand-side platform. Demand-side platform is where an advertiser, a buyer, can launch his campaign on. He can upload the creative. He can do some targets, set his targets like geographic users that he's looking to target on his campaign, specific audiences that he's looking to target, specific applications maybe, or deals he's looking to target. And then we are moving to the SSP, which is the supply-side platform. Supply-side platform, we will work as a publisher with many supply-side platform. They will basically will help us to reach the DSP sites. They will do the curation of the inventory that we will send to them. They will create the deals, the relevant deals for the DSP. In some cases, they will also help them with some audiences and segmentations, and they will be the intermediary between us and the DSPs. There are a few big companies that include SSP, that act as SSP and DSP. It's called exchanges. Some of the largest exchanges is Google, for example. In Google, you can also launch your campaign, do some targeting, and you can also connect some inventory and work with them as a publisher. So that's an example for a big exchange. In regard to ad types, so in the programmatic advertising, there are a lot of ad types. I brought the main ad types that relevant for us as an OTT publishers. So, of course, as an OTT that working with video content, the video ad type is the most common for us. Video is separated for in-stream video, linear ads, pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll. Pre-roll is when the user is starting to play a video. Mid-roll is in the middle of the video, and post-roll, of course, is the after the video is ended. Outstream video is a video ad that is not playing inside of a content. So there are a lot of platforms that allow you to have a small video player for just ads in the corner of the screen. So that's an example for outstream. Recently, there was a major change in the industry that defined what is outstream. But to make things simple, outstream is a video ad that's not playing inside a content. There is more type of video ad, which is in video ads. There are some companies like GamGam and Triple Leaf that supports overlay video ads on top of your video content. I didn't mention it here because it's not so common, but it's another way to increase your inventory and increase your revenue. In addition to video, the second common ad type for us will be display. Mainly banners. It's mostly popular on web and mobile and less popular on CTV. On CTV, there are some major platforms that doing direct sales for display banner, but it's not so common. The third ad type is native. Native is more popular on web and web platforms, also on mobile. I believe it's less relevant for us as an OTT publisher. It's less common, but just to know that there is another ad type that is very common in the programmatic space, programmatic advertising space. Getting inside to the ad types, as mentioned, video ads are the most relevant for us as a content owner, as an OTT publisher. And there are a few ways to insert video ads inside our platform. And we need to smartly choose the way that we are inserting ad to our application. The first way is doing it client side. So we can call a VAS tag from our client side, get an ad from our ad server, pause the video or not playing the video directly on the start, play the video ad, and then play the content. It's very common to do it, mainly on VOD content. It might be a bit complex since in OTT we are working across all platforms and all environments. In some cases, it's best to use an SDK to make the integration between the client side and the edge server side, and unwrap the VAS tag on the client side, get the video ad, shoot all the beacons. So it's best to use a non-SDK. Since it's a bit complex, but on the client side, we can get more data, and it will be more reliable data because it's the real client side that passed this data. It's not a server side that passed the data in behalf of the client. Also, in terms of cost-effective, client-side ad insertion is considered more economic than the server side, because there is no server cost here involved other than the ad server which is required to use. On the server side, SSAI, server side ad insertion, it's mostly used for fast channels and linear channels, where we have scatter markers that alert the server side algorithm to call the ad server, bring an ad, and then chain it into the stream. It's a bit more simple for us as a publisher to develop such a solution, it's also better for the user experience because there is no stream replays between the content and the video ad, but we are not sending an authentic data to the to our advertisers. There is a server that sending this data in behalf of the client, and it can be very expensive for a publisher because there is a server that doing all the stream insertion and the stream stitching. So it's considered an expensive way, but it's the best way to monetize your fast channel and supply a broadcast level experience for our viewers. In addition, for video ads, we have a few methods to plan the ad break. In some of the ad servers, you can see a way to manage the pod. It's called pods management in a dynamic way or in a static way. You can also manage that on the VASTAG level. Basically, there are a few ways to manage the ad break. So very much like a TV broadcast that you are seeing, there is an ad break, and inside this ad break, there are a few ads that are playing. There are a few pods. So once we are planning the ad break, we need to set how much ads we want or what is the duration of our ad break. So there are a few ways to manage that, and we need to choose the best way for us as a publisher. We'll speak about ad density in another slide, but basically, we need to understand that we can determine how much ads we can have in one ad break, and it can be controlled by how much pod slots we have, how much ads we want to have in one ad break, or what is the length of the whole ad break. We can pass it, as mentioned, on the VASTAG, or we can manage it on the ad server, depending if the ad server is support that. It's very important that you will manage your ad pods because it can increase your inventory significantly. Just for example, in one ad break, the average, the common slots or pod duration that is set is between 4 slots or 120 seconds of ad break, and that can significantly increase your inventory. In addition to the pods management and how much ads we have and the pod duration, we also can manage the flow price in a few different levels. So since we can work in pod duration and define what is the length of the ad break, we can, if your ad server supports OpenRTB 2.6, you can define how much will be the flow price, the minimum flow price for per second. I really recommend to use this method because that in this way you can make sure that you are selling most of your airtime in a very efficient way. Another way to manage that is set a flow price for the whole ad break or for each pod. So it's another way to manage the flow price. It's the best that you will check with your ad server guys what is the best practice on their platform and see if they are supporting CPM per second or flow price per pod or ad break. In regard to display ads, it might be a bit tricky for us as an OTT publisher since we need to plan ahead where we would like to put the display units inside of our applications. So on the design level, we need to understand where we will have this banner, in which cases we will show this banner, how it will look, what is the size of the banner that we will have. And of course, there are some industry standards for having a display unit. So you cannot set each size you want just because it fits your design. It's the best to align with the IAB protocols and make sure that you are working with a standard size. Of course, that, as I mentioned before, it's more relevant for mobile. And for CTV, it's mostly about sponsorship that you can sell or direct sales team that you have and can sell it. And then you can plan the right size for you and try to sell it. In regard to how to implement the display units on your platform. So in CTV, it's a bit tricky again because it's mostly sponsorship and direct sales. So once you are building the platform, you need to decide how you are going to inject the banners to your platform. But on mobile, it's highly recommended to use an existing mobile ad SDK. It can make your life much easier and can help you to be more optimized and get a better CPM and better fill rate for your display units. Another important thing that need to understand in the programmatic space, it's ads.txt and sellers.json. I know there is a lot of confusion between both. As a publisher, we are more aware of our ads.txt, but we also need to be aware of the sellers.json and make sure that our buyers, advertisers, SSP are also aligning their sellers.json. Just to explain, the ads.txt is here to keep us, the publishers, safe and whitelist the sellers that are able, that we gave them the license to sell our inventory. So to make things more transparent to others and make sure that there is no seller that selling our inventory or doing things, black things with our inventory, there is ads.txt, and we need to be very cautious with that, and we need to manage it. On our side, if there is the ads.txt file will be located on our root domain. There should be two ads.txt files, one for our applications, and then the file name will be app.ads.txt. And if you also have a web platform, then we should have an ads.txt without the app at the start. On this file, it's a simple text file, and we will have the lines that we are getting from the SSPs. Each line will look something like this. We have the SSP URL, then our unique ID on the SSP side, and then if it's a direct seller or a reseller that's working with one of our direct sellers. Another important thing that we need to be aware of as an OTT publisher, if you have a fast channel that you are distributing to other vMVPDs, other streaming platforms, and you have an inventory share agreement in place, you need to make sure that your inventory partner domain line is set on the streaming platform app.ads.txt file. And then your sellers are also able to sell the inventory that's coming from the vMVPDs. A bit about sellers.json. Sellers.json is a simple file, JSON file on the seller side, SSP or exchange that you are working with. And it basically shows the authorized publishers that these SSPs can sell. It's like a mirror of your ads.txt line. What you need to make sure as a publisher is that you have that your seller ID is showing on the seller.json with your correct publisher name, correct domain, and that the seller type is publisher. Some recommendations about ads.txt and how to manage it. First of all, do not add unverified ads.txt lines. Don't add any ad.txt lines that you are not aware of. Don't afraid to ask your sellers what is this line and what it does. I suggest to maintain your ads.txt file from time to time. Make sure that you are cleaning it up. If there is a buyer that is not performing really well, then and you are stopped to work with, then clean his line, delete all the lines that he gives you. Make sure that your ads.txt file doesn't have a long list of lines. It doesn't look good. It doesn't work really well. We suggest to have between 100 and 200 lines to build up optimize. Also working with 50 cells, it's also good, but don't pass the 100 to 150 lines on your file, and make sure that you are maintaining it. That's also the way that you can make sure that you are fully optimizing and all of the SSPs that you have on your ads.txt lines are activating and performing well. If you are running a fast channel, as mentioned, make sure that you have an IPD line on your streaming platform. For example, if you are working with Plex and you have a fast channels on their platform, make sure that you have an inventory partner domain on their ads.txt file. About programmatic sales and some recommendations around it. So once you are starting to work with a new SSP, please make sure that your bundles are verified. Since you're working across all platforms, then you have a different bundle for each platform, an app bundle. App bundle is defined in each platform a bit different. It's basically the IAB organization did some work around that and decide how an app bundle looks in each platform. Need to make sure that the SSPs are aware of your O&O bundles and that they are whitelisted on their side, so they will be able in this way to bid on your bundles. By the way, if there is a bundle that you are not seeing bidding from a specific SSP, then it's probably not whitelisted on their side. So need to make sure that to reach out to them and make sure that they are whitelisted it. A bit about PMP deals. PMP deals, it's private marketplace deal that we can have with specific buyers. So as mentioned, behind the SSPs we are working with, there are DSPs or other buyers. If there is a buyer or a specific DSP that's interested in our inventory or specific audience in inventory, we'll speak about audiences in a minute, then we are able to create a deal and use the SSP as a tech pipe to reach the advertiser. Using the PMP deal, we can sell our inventory in specific to specific buyer, increase our fill rates, increase our CPMs. The best is to talk with your SSP guys, with your account manager on the SSP side, ask to look for some PMP deals. In some cases, I would also suggest to have a deck about your applications, about your content, about your viewership, maybe to also mention about the audiences that are using that typically using your application. Next is removing underperforming SSPs, as we spoke about. So not only on the ads.txt side, also from your auctioning. It's important to maintain your auctioning and keep only relevant buyers that are performing well. Also, the next point is tiering the SSPs, the advertisers that you are working with. And first of all, have a group of tiering. The first tier will include buyers that have a good fill rate on our inventory and high CPMs. The second tier will be, for example, a lower CPM advertisers. So then we can prioritize in this way the higher CPM, the higher flow CPM advertisers. In regard to flow rates, I would suggest to split the the floor management, the floor price management per geo, because different geos has a different effective CPM. I would suggest to approach your SSP guys, speak openly about your flow prices, and define a different flow price per each geo. For example, there is a gap between the CPM flow price in the US and the CPM flow price in Latin America. So we need to be aware of it, and we need to manage it per geo, so we can get a good fill rate also in other geos. About ad density, I mentioned it before. Basically, this term is about how much ads are you pushing to one user or to one ad break. We need to make sure that we are not pushing a lot of ads and affect our user experience in a bad way and causing our viewers to ditch the application because of the amount of ads, because of the ad density is high. I would suggest to make some A/B testing and make sure that you are balancing between the amount of ads that you are pushing and the time that you are allowing your viewers to watch the movie. In the bottom line, you need to maintain a good user experience. Your viewers are there to watch your content and they are looking to watch it. And a lot of ads can cause a bad user experience. So moving to the next topic, which is about audiences, and I will explain how it affects your performance as an OTT publisher. So basically, if we will look on our application, we can have different audiences that using our application. If we will segment those our viewers into audiences, and we will understand which audiences are likely to use our applications, or which how we can segment the audiences in our application, and we will deliver this information to our buyers. We can first of all get a more relevant ads to our viewers, which should increase their user experience because it's more relevant for them, so they are likely more open to watch the ad, and maybe also to click it, and maybe also to engage with the advertiser. So it's a better user experience, and also in addition to that, it can supply us a better revenue, because if we are selling more targeted audience, then the buyers will likely more likely to bid on this type of inventory. So how we can do it on our side? The best and the simple way to do it is to segment our content and deliver some contextual data to our advertisers. It can be via our VAS tags, as mentioned. As much as information that you will pass on the VAS tag, then you will increase the fill rate and the CPM, and also bring more relevant ads to your platform. Some of the fields that we suggest to have as a mandatory on your application and send to your advertisers are content genre, content rating, content keyword. On top of that, I also want to mention that there are third parties, companies that can also help you in segmenting your content, and can be an intermediary between you and your buyers. So you can just send a content ID, for example, and then they can segment your content and send it to your advertiser and make your work much easier. So we discussed about the segment fields on your VAS tag and how it can help you to increase your revenue. What about also creating your audiences? So in addition to give the information, as much as information that you can to your buyers. You can also do some work on your end and segment the users, the viewerships that on your app for audiences. And I will explain a bit how you can do it. So as a publisher, you're exposed to a lot of first-party data. You also know the viewership statistics. You know which content you deliver, what is this content, how it's segmented. And then based on the contextual data, based on the location and a lot of stuff, you can segment your viewership into audiences. So for example, I want to show you what we did around the upcoming US presidential election, which opened a really good opportunity for us as an ad-based platform. We looked on our applications and look on the content consumption, and based on the contextual and segment data, we was able to split our viewership into the following audiences. For example, we have the politics independent and the politics liberal and the conservative. Using the different contextual segments, we was able to split our audiences and then go to our buyers and say, guys, we are exposed to this and this and these audiences. Please look for specific ads to bring us to our platform. And in some cases, we also managed to make some PMP deals around this data, and we are selling on the PMP deals a specific audience. Need to also make sure that your ad server is supporting this capability and can also help you serve ads based on audience and segment your viewership into audiences. I'm moving to the last topic, which is around performance TV. So on the programmatic advertising world, it's common to work with our buyers will work with certain KPIs that they need to deliver. On display ads or on platforms like mobile and web, that there is an option to click on the ad. It's pretty much simple because you can have a sense of your campaign effectiveness and measure your campaign. In CTV is a bit complicated, and I know that as an OTT publisher, one of the main platform for us is CTV. So in performance TV, we are combining the data that we are collecting in our application with our advertisers to deliver performance TV campaigns, which allow our buyers to measure the campaign effectiveness. It's involved here data partners, of course, the content owners, the advertisers, and MMPs. MMPs are measurement companies that help to measure the campaign effectiveness. Just as an example of a performance TV campaign that we can offer to various of buyers, we can show an ad on the CTV and talk with the MMP to watch on this campaign and measure this campaign. And once there is an action on the mobile side, the MMP will be able to match the action on the mobile to the CTV ad and count an attribution. In this way, we can deliver a measurement campaign to our buyers, show them that there is an attribution from the CTV and to the mobile, for example. It can be also a web. So the performance TV campaigns are very important for for us as a publisher. It can help us to lift our revenue, and it can be a new revenue stream for us. In most cases, the advertisers, the buyers, will likely to work on a CPI-based or CPA-based. So we can set these kind of ads as fillers for our ad breaks. So in case there is no fill or a low fill from our buyers, we can show a performance TV campaign, performance TV ad, and see if we are able to convert the user to an action. So we discussed about the advantages of the performance TV. I will go over it quickly. It can allow us to have, as a publisher, as a content owner, an higher demand. It can help us in yield, increasing the yield. It's diversity and more relevance ad, because we know our audience. There is some interaction level with the viewer. It can also supply us a better ad experience. For our advertisers, it allows them to have a wider reach, more specific audiences. They can measure the engagement. They can see the campaign effectiveness, and it's also cost effective for them. Yeah, so to recap our session today, we discussed about some monetization technique on the ad server side, how to make a good connection between our platform and the different buyers, how to optimize it, which data we should send to our partners. We also discussed about audiences, how we can help our buyers to create audiences around our inventory, and how we can help, how we can create audiences in our inventory and viewership. We also discussed about a new way to have some more fill in our application using Performance TV. Lastly, I want to give you some tip from our experience as a publisher that working with many content owners and have a lot of applications and fast channels on different platforms. Recently, we also uploaded an article to our LinkedIn channel and our blog, and we explained how you can increase our viewership and increase your inventory when you are combining a fast channel or linear channel inside your application, and your access to your viewership. In some cases, viewership of opening your app, and if you have only VOD content, it makes them difficult to choose. They are zapping between content and try to choose the right content for them. They are doing some search, but they are looking for an easy way to access your content and just understand what is your content around. So combining a linear channel inside your application together with your VOD content can increase your inventory significantly, because it makes it easy to the viewer to choose which content he likes to see. More than that, the content can be, since it's a linear channel, so the content is keep playing, then you can increase the viewer, the watch time of your application. I believe it's very important for your brand. It looks more professional. It makes your application better for viewers. They can come back more frequently because there is a new content on your linear channel. It's not the same content all the time. And it's also very important for you as a publisher to have some independence. So guys, thank you very much. Thanks for this session. Hopefully it was good for you and you learned some new things here. And yeah, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Shilo. That's extremely valuable. Deep dive really into a lot of the kind of the mystery behind what makes all of this stuff work. It's a lot of complexity there, and it's something that I think that our audience can refer to again and again. A couple of things I wanted to ask you about. First of all, you talked about ads TXT and sellers JSON a little bit. Do you find that those are IAB standards? Are those well adopted across the industry? Are there platforms that don't accept those, or is that something that if you're encoding to those, you can pretty much depend on it working across the industry?
So I believe that a year ago it wasn't so important like now. But right now, by the way, for mobile and web, it was highly important and it was mandatory. Otherwise, the SSP couldn't bid on your inventory and it was automatically. Right now, it's also included to CTV. So more and more SSPs are checking the ads.txt, making sure that the ads.txt are aligned. And again, us as an OTT publishers need to make sure that our inventory is sold to only trusted sellers. So it's highly important to support this standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with that. Well, it's great to see that that's been well adopted. It can make things a lot simpler when we're talking the same language across all of these apps. You talked a little bit about PMP versus programmatic. How much have you seen, or could we expect prices to vary between a programmatic versus a direct PMP kind of a deal?
I would say that the PMP inventory usually sell in an higher CPMs than the regular programmatic. Usually, it's very dependent on the geo that you are working with, but I would say that usually it's 20 or 30% more than your regular effective CPM that you are selling your inventory at.
Wow, so that is definitely significant. Something that we hear a lot from our members and our audiences yeah, I'd love to get into direct sales into PMP, but it's challenging to do that and to make you have what you feel like is a really solid audience. You have a really solid content offering for that audience, but then getting those deals done or getting exposure to what you have and that potential business opportunity for a buyer is something that we're really challenged with right now. Do you have any thoughts about that on ways that folks can think about removing some of those barriers or making it easier to get those kind of deals?
I believe that first of all, they should the publishers should focus on the SSP side and make sure that it's 100% optimized. As mentioned, one of the tips that I gave to the in my webinar is about is creating a deck about your application, explaining about the content, segment the content that you have on your app, maybe also talk about the audiences, the demographic viewership, send it to your SSP and ask them to use it to create some PMP deals and for some direct sales on your inventory. So I would suggest to first of all focus on that. And once you have a lot of volumes, a lot of PMP deals that you're seeing, then maybe it's a good time to open your sales team and try to make some more direct sales.
Yeah, that makes sense. First of all, know your audience. That's and that can sometimes be a challenge as well, right? Who is actually my audience? You may be surprised to find out who's
Right.
consuming your content.
Right.
Fantastic. Great suggestions. Can you tell us a little bit about Castify? Like,
Sure.
what do y'all do, and how can we take advantage of the great work that you're doing on your side?
So In Castify, we are dealing with content owners, and we help them to onboard their application, their OTT application, across all platforms, all environments, including web, mobile, and CTV. In CTV, we are working with over 10 different devices. In CTV, there is a significant challenge building the app for the various devices. So we are working with the device manufacturers, optimize our application for each device model and device manufacturer. Till now, we work with over 150 content owners, and we help them to onboard their application and also fast channel. We are also doing some content syndication deals and help the content owners that we are working with to get more revenue on their content from content syndication deals with other publishers in this ecosystem. We built over 400 applications. We are more focused on the technology side, and we are also very tech savvy. So we have a strong technology about monetization, how to enhance the monetization, and we are also helping other publishers that are not working with our application builder or fast channel builder to increase their revenue and optimizing their inventory.
So tell me about the AI, Castify.ai. What's the AI in how are you using AI in your business?
So first of all, in content recommendations, we are using AI and deliver the right content for the right viewer. We don't want to bring a lot of not relevant content to a viewer, so we are optimizing it using AI. In addition, on the ad tech side of the business, we are building audiences using AI based on the contextual segments, based on the demographic segments. We also have an algorithm for monetization based on AI that enhances the monetization based on it. You need to call the right advertiser on the right time. Basically, it's the next optimizations for publisher to make it more efficient, to make the auctioning in a bit better way and remove the latency. So we have an algorithm based on AI to make sure that our inventory is fully optimized and delivered to the right advertisers.
That's terrific. It's something that obviously there's a lot of discussion about AI, and it comes up all the time at our events and all of our sessions. And if I think we're really just beginning to scratch the surface, obviously, on what it can do. But for all of those that are distributing content or have content, it's something you really want to begin, if you're not already, taking advantage of and looking into, because in order to compete and to stay relevant, all of the tools and the applications of AI that Shilo mentioned, I think are going to be super, super important. And look forward to seeing you again, Shilo, hopefully at one of our upcoming events or on a webinar soon.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Fantastic presentation. I know that it's going to be available in our library, and folks can refer to it. Again, we'll also have your deck. There's a ton of great information in there as well at fairly detailed levels. So I think it can be really useful as you're trying to get up to speed or filling in the gaps in your knowledge and understanding about the way all this stuff works. So really appreciate it. Thanks so much. And thanks to all of you, our audience, for attending and for your continued support of OTT.X. As I mentioned, this session was recorded and it's going to be available on our website, OTT.X.org. And we have an impressive collection of presentations from our online and in-person events over the last few years there as well. You want to make sure to tune into our next session, which is Mastering Fast Analytics, where Whip Media and BBC Studios will share best practices for fast analytics. You also want to mention that registration is now open for OTT.X's flagship conference event. The OTT.X Summit is going to be taking place on September 25th and 26th in Los Angeles. We have a fantastic program scheduled, replete with thought-provoking keynotes from presenters including Wall Street analyst Laura Martin and serial entrepreneur and founder of Reach TV, Linwood Bibbins, as well as a host of research presentations, deep dives, industry meetings, and working sessions. You want to be there for it. It's going to be a fantastic event this year. I'm looking forward to it. You can register for this and all things OTTX at our website, OTTX.org. Head out there and check out more about what's going on in the OTTX sphere. You can also mail us at info@OTTX.org. We'd love to hear from you. That concludes today's webinar. Thanks again for joining us and for being a part of the OTTX community. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thanks again, Shilo.
Thanks.